Kurt Ramos, South Bend Tribune. Kayla, can you talk about how this team of prolific scorers has embraced defense? Because you haven't given up 70 points maybe once since the South Florida game in January.
I think it's something we've been harping on in practice and something that we take pride in. And if you look at what we did against UConn and different teams, not letting them score threes, it's something that we take pride in and something that we're very confident in.
Questions? Yes, go ahead.
Kayla, were you a defensive specialist in high school? Is it something you had to learn? And is it tough for someone who's known as a scorer to embrace defense?
I wouldn't call it a specialist. I think it's something that my high school coach harped on a lot, and I think Coach McGraw does the same thing, but I don't think it's any different than offense. I think no matter what happens on the offensive end, you should always be able to play defense.
Questions for the players? Yes, right here, David.
Dave Fairbank with the Daily Press. Skylar, what are the benefits and the drawbacks to kind of the Skylar Diggins celebrity phenomenon that's going on right now?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think the benefits are definitely drawing attention to the university and to my team. When people talk about myself, they talk about Notre Dame women's basketball. They're talking about the game. Oh, Kayla McBride is a great player. Natalie Chalmers, she improved so much. They're watching our games, and I think that's great. It's great for the university. I don't know. You get some crazy fans sometimes, some weird things and negative tweets or what have you. But I think the good always outweighs the bad, and it's great that it draws attention to our university and our basketball team.
Right here, Kelly.
Hank Kurz with the Associated Press. There was a time, Skylar, when women athletes rejected the whole assessment of their attractiveness or whatever as part of what they do. They were golfers. They weren't sex symbols. They weren't. You seem to, it seems to kind of, the whole thing seems to be part of what people talk about with you. Is that something you embrace as well?
I wouldn't say I was a sex symbol, but I say that, like I said before, I really don't care why they watch as long as they watch, and most of it is positive that I get. And like I said, whatever is good for the university is good for me. If people are watching the games, that's good. I don't think they disrespect me as a basketball player. I think people, for the most part, talk about my game, and sometimes, the other things I don't really pay attention to.
Yesterday, you were very aggressive offensively in the first half and much more inclined to pass in the second half. Kind of what determines which tack you take? Well,
I was just trying to be aggressive in the beginning, trying to get us off to a good start, and I had some opportunities where I had some open shots, and my teammates found me when I got hot. And, in the second half, we really wanted to I knew they would be paying more attention to me, so just getting my teammates going. And you saw Natalie Chalmers score 17 second half points, and that's because they were drawing. I was trying to draw attention to myself from the first half performance, and you just see my teammates moving so well without the ball now. And then we got into some other things. I think it opened it up a lot. That I was knocking down the three in the first half, and that opened up some things for us to penetrate. But really, what it was in the second half was our defense. And like I said yesterday, when we really lock down on defense, we get the opportunities to get out and transition in offense, which is where I think we play our best basketball at when we're up and down.
Yes, ma'am, right here. Right behind you, she got the mic.
Hey, Janine Edwards, ESPN. Skylar, if I could ask you, did you hear from anybody last night after your game? Any notable people text you, tweet you, any phone calls? And what did you guys do as a group or by yourself to celebrate not only the win, but your achievement yesterday?
I talked to some people. I didn't really dissect my tweets to see who tweeted me and who didn't. I talked to Lisa Leslie. She was one that reached out, and I actually talked to Lady Magic when I got here, and Tisha, and so just some people that I talked to. But I didn't really do anything different yesterday that I would do after any other game on the road, and I had the opportunity to spend some time with my family for Easter, which was good, and some of them that don't really get to come to games. Like my dad came up from Florida, so we spent some time together, and my boyfriend got to come up. So it was like good. Like a lot of my family and friends were here, and I know a lot of us had friends and family that we got to go out with and things like that just to celebrate the holiday.
I think you had a follow-up. Did you? Well, wait till the mic gets to you. I'm sorry.
I was just wondering what Lisa Leslie may have said to you, any little tidbit that you could share with us that resonated with you.
Oh, well, we talk all the time. So, I mean, she always gives me advice about, keep playing hard, keep leading your team, and that's what I get from a lot of the, WNBA players, or former WNBA players that I keep in touch with. As you guys know, I talk to Candace Wiggins. That's one of my best friends, and just any advice that they can give me about this time of the year and really embracing this experience because they've been there and done that before and are where I'm trying to get to. So it's always great when you have people like that and legends that are able to kind of take you under their wing and, give you some words of encouragement.
Behind you first, I think you had a hand.
Ariel, could you talk a little bit about this team's defensive cohesiveness, and how long did it take this team to develop that, given that you had to replace 3 starters?
I think this year a lot, we've been focusing on the little things that need to get done defensively. And, it took a lot in the beginning, but I think growing throughout the season, we get it. The freshmen are starting to get it, that we have to play defense to win games.
In the front, Hank.
For any of you players, did any of you guys watch the Baylor game last night? And if it did, what kind of message did you get from what happened in that game?
Natalie, you want to?
I personally didn't watch the game. I was writing an accounting exam, but I think we still got to focus on us. We're on a different side of the bracket. We got Duke tomorrow, a great team, and I think right now we're focusing on one step at a time, and Duke's our next step, and that's where our focus and where our heads are at right now.
Questions of players? Dave, in the front.
Dave Fairbank again. Skylar, because of your visibility, do you feel any extra obligation or responsibility to kind of grow the game and just to kind of put yourself out there and be more visible?
When you say visible, do you mean what, tweet? Should I tweet more or should I'm not really.
I just mean because you sort of have become a celebrity within college women's basketball. So I'm wondering if you feel any extra responsibility to kind of be out there and be more visible and like you said, to grow the game.
No, I don't. I think that I got to where I am today because of, my family, my coaches, my teammates, and just by being myself. And that's the easiest part is I'm just being myself. And I still do what I do, what I've been doing. It's no different. My focus is still the same. My priorities are still the same. But it is flattering when you see, girls that tweet me and come up to me and say they look up to me and I'm their role model and things like that. I think it's great. And, I've been taught with growing up, values that stuck with me. And I continue to embody those values now. I don't feel any different or feel any pressure or anything. I'm just being myself.
Yes, sir, in the second row again.
Skylar, can you talk a little bit about Duke's backcourt and just what you've been able to see? And even though Chelsea Gray is out, they still are formidable.
Absolutely. You have Alexis Jones, who came in and just really took over, for the point guard. And when Chelsea went out, and she's playing some great basketball right now. Her ability to be so crafty on the offensive end with the ball, with her passing, with her moves, and just the way she kind of stepped up her scoring towards the last couple games. And then you have, Chloe Wells, who's shooting the ball so well. And then Tricia Liston, who is also shooting the ball well and does a great job creating her own shot and just really being smart on offense. And I think that those are the 3 guards that really push them. And they're going to get the ball out. They're going to switch up their defenses. And we just have to make sure that we put pressure on their guards, kind of try to take it out of Alexis Jones' hand, make somebody else bring it up, and really just make sure we're pressuring full court to try to get some turnovers and get out in transition.
Questions of the players in the very back?
Kevin Rafferty from the CBS affiliate here. Ladies, is the game plan change tomorrow or the mentality change a little, knowing that, A, Elizabeth Williams is from this area and it could be a pro-Duke crowd?
How about Jewel? You want to take?
I think if we just stay true to what our team defense and our principles, we should be fine. It's all about teamwork and heart, and I think we have that.
Anybody else want to respond to that?
I think mentally we approach every game the same. We want to make sure that we're focusing on, our coaches do a great job on scouting and laying out what our principles and what our focuses are for the game. And we played in harsh atmospheres before, and even if it is a pro Duke, I know we have great fans that are going to come and travel and still cheer for us. At the end of the day, it's the group that's in the huddle and those that are for us. So that's where we're going to focus our energy on and staying true to what our principles for the game are.
Second row, we'll take a couple more here for the girls.
Jewel, can you just talk about what's helped you mature in terms of being able to handle where you are now? Is it just the experience of playing? Is it, advice from teammates?
Pretty much everyone who's up here right now has really helped me, off the court and on the court, just communication really, and just little talks just keep me motivated and just teach me the little things. And yeah, I'm still young. I have a lot to learn, but it really helps when you have good upperclassmen.
In the front row.
Skylar, you've talked about your love for the university and how great it's been as a part of your life. And I know it's one game at a time, but this last chance, what would it mean for you to cut down nets in New Orleans?
It would mean a lot. It would mean a lot, and I can't say that's something that's not, in my mind all the time. Thinking about, my last game possibly here, and whether I like it. The most games I have left is 3 games, and this is crazy. This experience has been amazing. This ride has been amazing, and I think it would be great if we had the opportunity to cut down the nets. But like I said, I try not to focus too much of my energy on that, and really, like Natalie said, just focusing one game at a time, and can't get to that point if we don't take care of business here. So I try not to look forward too much to that opportunity, but instead just focus on the task at hand, and that's Duke.
Is there a final question for the players? Yes, sir.
Natalie Graham Hayes, ESPN. Playing a lot of high-level basketball for the national team last spring and last summer. Was there ever a point where once you got to the college season, where you felt like you might be hitting a wall physically, or how do you kind of manage your body to avoid that?
We have a great staff here in our athletic trainers and our physical trainers, and I think Coach McGraw and our staff does a great job on kind of preparing us for a long season like this, as well as maintaining us. So I think that I've taken the time off when I needed to. I've put in the extra work in the gym when I needed to, and it's just about building the body for the games like this to be able to sustain up to this point. And I'm still young. This can still bounce back, and I'm still going.
Ladies, thank you very much. We're going to let them go back to the locker room, and the Notre Dame locker room stays open until 11:35 if you need to follow any of these folks back there. And now we'll take questions for Muffet, please. Raise your hand. Yes, Kelly, right here.
Coach, can you just talk about how you had to grow this team as a defensive unit, and especially how you get kids to buy into the defensive end of the game?
Well, when we looked at what we lost last year, Big East Defensive Player of the Year, Devereaux Peters, our Defensive Perimeter Player of the Year, Brittany Mallory, and Frederica Miller. We had 3 great defenders graduate, and I knew it was going to be difficult for us. We focused on team defense. We thought we were going to have to do a much better job rotating because we didn't have the shot blocker back there. Worked on taking charges. I think the people who play the most and start are our 5 best defenders, so I think it was pretty easy to motivate them through playing time.
Questions for the coach? Right here again.
Can you talk a little bit about Duke and what you see are the key elements of the game?
Well, Elizabeth Williams, she's a tremendous player. She is a shot blocker extraordinaire. She is a really good defender, but she can really score too. She can run the floor. She does everything, and she's a great player. Certainly a future All-American, and I think that's a huge challenge for us to guard her, especially when they have Tricia Liston on the outside, who's one of the best 3-point shooters in the country. and Alexis Jones, who can really has the great speed to get them going. So I think a lot of challenges for our defense today, and I'm not sure what our game plan is going to be right now. We've got quite a few options.
Hank, go ahead.
Hank Kurz with AP. Is there anything to be gleaned from the fact that you guys beat UConn 3 times and they got beat by 30?
You know, I think we're pretty confident where we are right now, how we've played all season. I think our resume, the experience we've had on the road and at home, the caliber of opponent I think we've beaten, I think gives us great confidence, and I hope that serves us well.
In the very back.
Thank you. Coach Paul White, fullcourt.com. Obviously, the focus is on Duke, but it's a pretty historic game last night, pretty spectacular game. Are you able to, as a basketball fan, watch that, appreciate that, or are you so locked in on the task at hand that?
No, we had the opportunity to watch the finish, and just so happy for Louisville. I think it's great for the Big East Conference. 3 teams in the Elite Eight. Just a great win for Jeff Walls and his team. It played an extraordinary game. You know, shot the ball so well. I don't think anybody in the country had that one on the bracket. So it was a big bracket buster across the nation. Just really thrilled for Louisville.
Question, second row here.
Natalie said she was challenged by coaches at halftime yesterday. Can you just talk about that conversation with her and just how important she is tomorrow night?
She is apparently not an early riser, and I think her alarm went off at halftime, and she really refocused and was really ready. Had a fantastic second half. I think she really rose to the occasion, and she is so important to our team. I mean, she makes such a huge difference when she's on the floor at both ends. Everything she does in terms of communication and being vocal and being a leader, as well as just the offense and defense. So we need her rebounding, we need her defense, we need her scoring, and we were a different team in the second half when she was playing well.
Questions? Dave, right here, and then we'll take her. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, Dave Fairbank with the Daily Press. Coach, what's your take on kind of the Skylar phenomenon? And did you foresee, you know, when she arrived and even the first year or two, kind of the sort of the figure that she's become?
I don't think anybody could have anticipated the celebrity status that she's achieved across the country. I think with the growth of social media, it's a completely different game than it was, you know, even 5 years ago, with Twitter and all the things where people can turn on the TV, watch her play, and say something that people are going to respond to. I think the celebrities that have gotten involved with her in terms of following her on Twitter and tweeting about her has really grown our fan base, I think, for women's basketball. I think it's been a great thing for the game. I think she handles it extremely well and has, you know, for the last couple of years. So she's an incredible role model, and I think it's brought great notoriety, all positive, to the women's game.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
Muffet, hi, Janine Edwards again, ESPN. Is there a particular element of Duke's play that you're most curious to see how you guys handle, or a particular matchup that you're most curious about? Just something that you're curious to see how you guys are going to handle in the game?
You know, I think the center position matchup is going to be crucial for us. So that's the one I think I'm most interested to see how it develops.
Hank, go ahead.
You've been doing this a long time, and obviously, you know, seniors come and go and whatever, and you have a national championship. And you talked the other day about the sense of urgency the team feels. How about for you with Skylar and what she's meant to your program, and having come so close the last 2 years, what's your sense of urgency to have it happen this year?
Yeah, I want it for her. I want it bad. I think she has been such just a phenomenal presence in our program, a legendary. I don't think that what she's done is ever going to be matched, and I would love nothing more than to see her go out a champion. And whether we win or lose, I think she will leave as a champion, but it would be great for her to cut down the nets.